great to be here today, folks. My name's Stuart Hickox. Again, I'm proud to be here with Q from our New Jersey campaign, Lisa, and Chris from our headquarters in the development team, to give you a little snapshot of what we do and how a very specific example of a social marketing campaign that's rolled out across North America that has very specific results, and I think manifests in a lot of ways the principles and philosophy that we've talked about here for the last hour and a half or so in very tangible ways. So we are one change. Notice the little domino effect inside the earth shape. It's all about simple actions, and that we make it possible for people to do the first things and help them and set them on that course to do more, make more responsible choices down the road. So here we are today in San Diego, where it is much warmer than where we came from yesterday in Canada. Our mission at One Change, very simple. And this is a mission statement that's loaded with a lot of really important words that we should pay attention to. One Change empowers people to believe that simple actions matter and to make smart energy choices in their daily lives. Believe that simple actions matter, smart choices in daily lives. That's a whole lot in one sentence, but it summarizes exactly what we're trying to do, is to set people on that course to more responsible choices. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about, very specifically about Project Porch Light, and offer to you this as an example of a way to run a cost-effective, scalable, transparent, and turnkey program. I'm told those are the important words to use for here. They're not really in our lexicon, mostly because we talk about engaging people. But really, if you want to get the job done, it's important to work with people directly. And this example that I'm about to show you and the tools that we use to make it possible are all of these things and more. If you want to reach people, we'll show you how to do it. So you've seen the introductory video already. You have a copy of it in front of you there that you can take home, the DVD. But it started, this whole campaign started a few years ago, as I said in the opening remarks, with a very familiar statistic. I was looking for a fridge on the internet and the Energy Star site in 2004 when I found this. I'm not an environmentalist. I'm not an energy conservation guy. Most of the people involved in this aren't. But I remember where I was sitting when I saw that statistic online, because I thought, again, how hard can it be to get everyone to do this? It was a tangible, simple, accessible, universal, and powerful symbol for participation in energy conservation and action, to tip the vast awareness that we have now about energy conservation into action, and to get everyone involved. And everyone involved is really important, and I'll come back to that in a few minutes. One bulb, 800,000 cars. In social marketing, it's important to boil things down to simple, memorable things. That's a compelling statistic. But it's also symbolic of the way that we do things. We're not just telling people what they should do. It's important that we give everyone something to do, action, not just awareness. By providing a simple, universal, all those things again, accessible, tangible tool, we allow people to participate, and in the process shatter all kinds of barriers to participation. People could think a lot about the things that they should do, and they know they should. They know they might even be easy things to do, but there's a gap between them knowing they should do it and doing it that a program like this closes. By focusing on a universal, symbolic, tangible item, like a light bulb, that also happens to be low cost, we're able to create a symbolic, cross-demographic social movement to bring people together participating in a program among groups that may never have worked together before. Q has spoken with them. Different communities working on the same thing, different backgrounds, different faiths, all engaged in something that we share in common, which is critical to do if we're ever going to really solve these problems. We're never going to meet our demand targets, or more globally, solve these climate change problems unless everyone's participant, no matter what your background is. So again, it's the universal appeal of the bulb that we work to stimulate this kind of social movement. And again, this is something I use mostly in the last few years. Awareness, awareness, awareness. Some of you mentioned it here today. We're in the awareness business, generating this surge. Well, enough of that already. People know they have to do this kind of thing. We need to do the ground campaign. There's been a lot of, high-level branding, very expensive television, glitzy branding efforts and stuff like that. That's all great. Your firm maybe has been involved in some of those too. But what we need now is to mobilize the people that have responded to those first campaigns, that 30 to 40% of the market that keeps coming back every time, who have bought the coupons bought the bulbs at discount, or who have responded to the coupon inserts, or who have already installed all the bulbs in their house. We need to mobilize those people to extend the reach of these programs to people who will never participate in those things. That's how we can do it. We need to send in the ground forces. So you might think, and this is something that I hear often now as I travel across North America, we're done with bulbs. We've done our bulb campaign. Well, I'd like to be clear about something right at the beginning. This is not a bulb campaign. You can pile up bulbs at retail stores for people to hand out. You can have your utilities people hand them out when they pay their bills. You can give them to social housing and dump them in malls. Those are bulb giveaways. This is a change campaign, something very different, using the bulb as the way to reach houses. And there's a lot of work that's left to be done. A lot of the data that's here is taken from eSource, but also a little bird from DOE that's sharing some information for me that you'll all know about in about a month. A major study is just about to be released that shows market transformation in bulbs just hasn't happened. All the multi-million-dollar campaigns to get people to affect market transformation have failed. They've converted a certain sector of the market, but overall there's a lot of work to be done. 4 billion sockets left to be filled. That's a lot of work. And when even California is saying that they feel that their Flex Your Power campaigns and things like that haven't met their targets, then we know that the rest of the country, maybe some states that aren't even represented here, need even more help. So, Project Porch Light, the light at the front door is important. That's why we came up with that. The light at the front door is a declaration to others, a symbol of community action. The easy ask, which bulb are you going to change first if you haven't tried it before, especially if you think it's a blue flickering light that's going to give you migraines. Okay, I'll change the one at the door. And then maybe they'll bring it inside when they discover that all of those misconceptions aren't true with the newer bulbs. It's the gateway to the home. That's the most important thing too. If you can get someone to do this once and replace one bulb, then they're more likely to bring it inside. It's the gateway to energy efficiency in the house. Most importantly though, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, and you've seen a little bit of the example in the DVD, is the light at the front door is where the conversation happens. Now, conversation is really, really important here, because who are you going to listen to if someone's telling you what to do? Your government? Your utility? I mean, with all due respect to utilities in the room. Or your neighbor, your friend, your mother. Well, maybe not your mother. But if we mobilize people who live in communities to share this message with their neighbors, that's a very basic principle of social marketing. If you can make the person that shares the message someone that's recognized, that's credible, then you're more likely to be successful. So this brings us to the heart of the Porch Light One Change approach. We are a volunteer-driven organization. Because volunteers are visible, recognizable in their communities. We mobilize people to share it within their own immediate neighborhoods and within their own immediate groups. Difficult groups that are tough to work with, low income, different languages, different backgrounds. There's a community champion or someone who can understand the principle of this campaign in every single one of them. And all you have to do is reach one, and it's the seed that spreads to the others. It's infectious. Feeling local, a local campaign is really, really important. People want to be part of something that exists and thrives in their own communities. And we tap into a latent interest and that awareness that's there that people don't know what to do with. They know the environment is a major issue, but they don't know how to start. And when you give someone the opportunity to be the effective champion of change in their own community, it's embraced with both hands. We have volunteers who, from every campaign, from the Yukon all the way across to New Jersey, who thank us for allowing them to volunteer because they're getting out there, they're meeting their neighbors, and they're feeling like they're making a difference, and that's really important. So, some basic principles, getting back and echoing some of the things that Bill was talking about here of social marketing that maybe wasn't touched on as much here, but a core of our approach is reciprocity. We mobilize people and train them to talk about energy efficiency at the door, to understand the benefit of the bulb, and send them door to door to go, ding dong, here, the door opens this much. Here's a free compact fluorescent bulb brought to you by fill in the blank partner, sponsor. The door opens a little bit wider because they use the word free. It will save you up to $50 on your energy bill. It'll cut half a ton of greenhouse gas, something you can do that's easy. The door opens a little wide, then we repeat, it's free. The bulb crosses over the threshold into someone's hand, instantly shattering all kinds of barriers to adoption of that technology, particularly in places where it hasn't been used before. Because you put a good quality bulb in someone's hand with the Energy Star logo on it, so they'll recognize that when they go to the store the next time. So right away, barriers shattered. But the most important thing is, when someone takes that bulb, you've given them something that they recognize has value. Everyone knows the light bulb is worth so much in the store and it'll save you money. So what we train our volunteers to say is, thank you. All I ask in exchange, will you please install that light bulb? And of course, the answer is, well, yeah, sure. They may not even remember saying that, agreeing to that, but it's a commitment that has a dramatic effect on the install rate. You can, like I said, give out free bulbs at malls and things like that too, but if people are just walking by a trade show and they're picking up a bulb as they go by, it doesn't have the same value. There's no commitment. It's just a freebie. It may never, ever be installed.